Russell Westbrook is no longer a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. D'Angelo Russell makes a homecoming to LA, if you will. Two super intriguing players. Of course, they would get traded for each other. For the Lakers, I like it. For Utah, I get it. For Minnesota, I understand. Ultimately, we'll go through all the Lakers stuff, but they got better this deadline. They did. They got better this deadline, and it didn't cost much. There's a counterpoint in there that says you could have spent more and gotten more, but I believe that the Lakers wanted to get better, and I do also believe they didn't want to totally hemorrhage their future, and I think they did that. And you get rid of Westbrook, who visibly was sick and tired of playing with LeBron and playing in the LA system. I think he was tired of the LA spotlight just totally crushing him. Of course, the quote about him being a vampire in the locker room comes out, and man, that's gonna be typical LA media stuff, right? And also, who's sympathizing with Russell Westbrook for that? I know it sucks, but dude, it was a situation that went sour in front of the Lakers, in front of a team that has LeBron James. Like, dude, you sign up for that when you choose to play professional basketball. I know you didn't choose LA, but you didn't really run from it either. And it feels like just another disaster for the Lakers. But here we are. Every contract is tradable, and they made out okay on it. So once again, you can get out of contracts. You can get out of trades. So it doesn't matter who you are. There's always a team who's looking for a bad contract with assets attached. And the Lakers didn't. The Lakers gave up a bad contract, and they got some really good assets in return. It was a 3-team deal, and they did end up having to give up the 2027 first rounder, but they ended up getting the top 4 protection on it. And I think that's important, because if that pick is really bad, then they still get to reap the rewards. And that pick could be really bad. We're going to see what happens with the Lakers this summer. We're going to see the move for the Lakers was, let's get better right now without going all in on an unknown, right? I think Kyrie could have been there for them. I think they didn't want to do that. I think they didn't want to go all in on such a heavy unknown, right? And I can't blame them. If you've been burned by Kyrie Irving before, raise your hand. Okay. Yeah, a lot of us. I like Vanderbilt. I wanted Vanderbilt on the Celtics. I'm okay with D'Lo. Does it say something that he's been playing really good basketball for the last 2 months and the Wolves still traded him? Yeah, I think it says something. Does it say more about the Timberwolves or more about D'Lo? I think it's a mix of both. I like Beasley a lot. A little inefficient this year, not shooting above 40% from the floor, but a little bit of offensive punch for you. I think he comes off the bench. I think there's a world in which Vanderbilt could start. I think there's a world in which the Lakers could roll out a lot of different lineups. And that's something that I like. I like that they won't be so predictable now. They'll still be predictable, trust. But they have real basketball players now, right? I kind of like the Rui Hachimura thing. I don't love it. I'm not like, when they did it, it was like, oh my God, he was a top draft pick. Let's go. It's like, yeah, he's okay. And that's what he's been. He's been okay. Vanderbilt will be good defensively. He's not going to bring you a lot on offense. That's why I didn't mind him for the Celtics. Like, we don't really need a lot on offense. Can you help out? Can you provide some wing depth? Can I throw you at Giannis for like a 5-minute stretch in the second quarter of, a playoff round, right? That's he's kind of just another really good body, a good defensive player. And that's something that the Lakers needed. So they ultimately get Vanderbilt, D'Lo, Beasley. Westbrook goes out after the record-breaking game for LeBron. I felt it was obvious. Then of course that night we get the reports about he and him lit it up at halftime. Westbrook just wasn't cut out for this team. I don't think he's quite frankly, I don't think Russell Westbrook's cut out for any contending team, and that sucks. It sucks to say that. I'm not gonna write home about how awesome or my love affair for Russell Westbrook. I'm not that big of a fan, but especially in the recent years, I think he picked up bad habits during the late OKC years, and I think it carried over into Houston, and I think that drove James Harden out of Houston, and then I think it carried over into I think the Washington years now could be looked upon pretty fondly, like in comparison to the Houston years and the Oklahoma, at the end of the Oklahoma City thing, he was still himself, but it just wasn't really a winning brand of basketball, dude. And I know that's gonna get some flack, but Westbrook's not really ever been by himself outside of, I think, a couple of years there, around the time that they made the finals in Oklahoma City. And a couple of years after that, mind you, he was playing with Kevin Durant, who was winning MVPs and was in the prime of his career, or entering the prime of his career at that time. So, but I don't think there's ever been a time where you could have stuck Russell Westbrook on a team and been like, hey, go on a deep playoff run, go make an NBA Finals, without another star on it by his side. And I'm not bashing him for that, but there's not a lot of guys in the NBA like that. But at the end of the day, Russell Westbrook just is what he is at this point. And I don't know that he's going to contribute to the Clippers or the Heat. And if I'm the Clippers and if I'm Steve Ballmer and I'm Ty Lue, I'm grabbing Paul George by the throat after that press conference where he's like, let's get Russell Westbrook in here, because that's a big stage to be calling out your front office and to be calling for an addition that really doesn't make a lot of sense. You just got rid of a non-shooting athletic point guard in John Wall who didn't work out. I think Russell Westbrook's probably better than John Wall at this point, just because he's played more. But is Westbrook going to change your life there? If I'm Miami, great, another non-shooting guard. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. The Lakers rid themselves of the Westbrook problem. I'm not going to call him a vampire. I don't know what that was referring to. Maybe the locker room presence, considering he was, beefing it out with Darvin Ham on what was supposed to be a pretty chill night for the Lakers. That tells me there was probably some bad blood there. So we'll just call it there. Big thing to note here. The Lakers clear up over $30 million in cap room this summer. And I know that number sounds huge, and it's a big number. But the free agency class is not very good. And that's not including Rui Hachimura, who is a restricted free agent who they can bring back. But that's going to eat into a lot of that space. And, cap space is fluid. Contracts are fluid. I just got done talking about how you can trade anything and do pretty much anything you want to make something happen. That, on the other hand, I don't know who wants to come to LA. Maybe it's Kyrie. Is LeBron all in on LA? I think so. Is AD going to be there long term by his choice or by the Lakers' choice? Are they going to move him? I think there's a million different ways the Lakers offseason could go. I think it's good that they have flexibility. Just want to let you know, The two best free agents in this class are Kyrie Irving and James Harden.